All right. Shalom, 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 y'all. It's Michael Israel. You're watching Spiritual Combat, and we are continuing with the Straitway Life series. We have Brother Kabeer on here from Straitway Praiseland. Shalom, Kabeer. I appreciate you taking time out of your busy schedule to come on here. And what I'm going to do, Kabeer, I'm going to hand it over to you to just introduce yourself and talk a little bit about Praiseland, and then we're going to get into the interview. So I'm going to hand it over to you, Brother Kabeer.
All right, shalom, shalom, brother Michael. Thank you for having me on the show here. Obviously, I'm Brother Kabeer. I'm the head of the Straitway Truth Ministry. Ooh, sorry about that.
Mute your phones. I got to mute mine too.
Yeah, I got to mute mine, and I got to put "Do Not Disturb" here. Right. Okay, but anyway, can you? What do I need to do here? Okay, right here. I see it. Let me just do this thing real quick.
No problem. No problem.
I'm gonna do this. I found this thing on "Do Not Disturb," and you can actually say for the meeting or something. So.
Oh, you can schedule when it does it?
Based off of my schedule. So I have a schedule with you. So I'm going to put "Do Not Disturb." So from that point. So anyway, but Brother Kabeer, I'm sorry about that. But I'm Brother Kabeer, the head of the Straitway Truth Ministry in Wisconsin, nicknamed Praiseland. Been the head of the community for now, maybe 2 or 3 years now. Two or 3 years. This time is flying by. So forgive me on the time there. I think we have about 16 people that I'm there we go. That's the family right there that I'm responsible for, and is also an assembly. I don't know. I mean, I guess I'll let you ask some of the questions here, but yeah, we pretty much been up here. We are in the process of moving. So we are we just got to go ahead to go purchase some land down south in Tennessee. And so we are in the middle of working those deals out.
All right. And Kabeer, if you can you just talk a little bit about or briefly about your career in the NFL?
Well, I got drafted by the Green Bay Packers in 2000 out of San Diego State University. Played for the Packers for 9 years. During that stint, I was able to break the all-time sack record that was held by the great Reggie White. He was the sack holder, and I ended up breaking that before my career ended with them. I think I held that for 10 years before it eventually got broken by Clay Matthews Jr. And yeah, that's the short of my career. So I was just really known for that. I really became known in the community, I'm a household name, very well respected in the community, even to the point where I could have even ran for governor, and I think I would have had a good chance of winning.
All right. And also, Kabeer, if you can, and hold on one second. Let me get something set up here. Make this a little easier. Okay. And also, Kabeer, just so people can understand, if they don't already realize, how many years would you say you were in the NFL? Whoops. Can you hear me? I think it hung up on us. So we're gonna it should come back in, but it looks like we had looks like an internet issue on Brother Kabeer's end over there. But what we'll do while we're waiting for them to get back on here, because I'm sure y'all could hear me fiddling with these pictures over here, but I'm going to show you some pictures of Brother Kabeer. I wasn't able to show all of them, but there is a picture of him receiving the Green Bay Packer Hall of Fame. Let me see. Okay. There we go. I'll put it up. So this is a picture of him receiving the Hall of Fame award. So let me put this up here. We definitely ran into some technical difficulties because it looks like they actually got knocked all the way off there. But this is a picture of Brother Kabeer receiving his Hall of Fame award in the Green Bay Packer Hall of Fame. So that's a good picture there. All right. So let me try to reach out to them. You obviously know this is going to be a good interview if we're already having all these technical difficulties. So let me see if I can figure out what's going on over there on their end. Let's see. Maybe the computer went out or something. There's a phone call. Hey, Shalom. What's going on? So your whole internet went down. All right. Well, while you're getting Dave, while you're trying to get the internet up, put Kabeer on the phone. We'll just continue the interview until you're able to get him back in there over the phone.
Drew says, I'm here.
All right. So I got Brother Kabeer back. He's here on the phone. What we'll do is we're going to conduct the interview like this until they're able to get their internet back up. Okay. So Kabeer, so where we kind of left off is needless to say, you had a way above average career in the NFL. Would you say that?
Yeah, I mean, I played good enough to be able to get to the Green Bay Packer Hall of Fame. So I was inducted in 2013 into the Packer Hall of Fame. And a lot of time when people get inducted, usually because you won the Super Bowl or you did something. And so obviously I was not a part of the team that won the Super Bowl. So it's literally just based off of my play on the field. So in a way that you can tell that obviously, I was a force to be reckoned. I just didn't have a lot of, I played with the likes of Brett Favre and things of that nature. We just didn't win the Super Bowl. But so I think that's even huge when you can get there, not necessarily having some of the stuff that could help you to get into a team's Hall of Fame.
Right. So fast forward into you and hold on one sec. I think I'm having an issue here.
This is the devil, bro. This is straight to the
devil. Yeah. Now my stream's messing up. Going to Facebook and YouTube the stream's messing up going to Facebook, but we're still kicking hard to YouTube, so we're good. I'm not even gonna worry about it. So
somebody doesn't want the word to get out, huh?
The
devil is a lie.
The devil is a lie. All right. So Kabeer, if you could fast forward, you got out the NFL and you were you'd been married. The marriage began to go down the drain, and let's pick up there if we can.
Yeah. So pretty much I was married for 16 years to my wife, my first wife. We had 7 boys, 1 girl. During that time, it was during my time obviously playing in the NFL. Everything was good. I mean, most people would say we had a good marriage. We had a good marriage from a Christian perspective, from a worldly perspective, even from my perspective at the time. You know what I mean? And if we ever had any arguments, which every marriage you have some type of disagreements, we were very proficient in resolving those conflicts. We were very good at resolving conflict, even to the point that we taught people how to resolve conflict. So We never let the sun go down on our anger. We had that. Well, that was a principle we had, is that we never let the sun go down on anger. We resolve it, and we always found a win-win situation. Then fast forward, July 1st, 2017. Now this is, I was kind of getting ready. I did become a financial advisor during that time, but I decided to go after the CFP. That's the Certified Financial Planner designation, which only how many people? Only 68,000 people have that, and out of that, 61% are what they consider African American or hue skin. So I decided to go after that, and I knew it was going to take some sacrifice. It was going to take time and sacrifice, and it was going to challenge our marriage. We were told that this is very hard. So anyway, I went after it. I did eventually pass by the grace of Yah, but what happened was, after I passed the test sometime in May of that year, it's working, by the way. But after I passed it that year in April of that year, we were just recovering from me going there. So it took me a year and a half to study, to do everything I needed to do to get the CFP designation. So we were now trying to, catch up, because I was busy, testing, and I really couldn't do date nights, all the stuff that Christians tell you to do, date nights and go on vacations, things that we couldn't do for that little year and a half.
Right.
And, but on July 1st of 2017 of that year, I had a dream. And I was already wrestling with this stuff. One of my prayers was, I prayed that God would help me to pass the test, because that was a beast. I didn't really want to sit down and be reading about. Oh, hold on.
All right. So we're going to bring Kabeer back in. Okay. We're going to bring Kabeer back in on video because they got their internet back up. So just give me a sec and I'll have them back up here. There we go.
All right.
So we got Kabeer back up. We back in there, and we shaking and moving. You know?
I still got a face for TV. So, but this is perfect timing. So anyway, but July 1st, I had a dream, but before I get into the dream, it was very stressful. I ran into a situation where I was reading in 1 Corinthians chapter 11 that the head of every man is Christ and the head of every woman is man. And you read through that whole thing about head coverings. And I had a daughter. She was 2 or 3 years at the time. And I was being convicted that, okay, I've all these years I've been having boys. I mean, the first six seed was all boys. And then I had my seventh child was a girl, right? And so now it kind of brings in a whole dynamic that I didn't have to be concerned about. And so I said, okay, I want to rear this daughter up in the way of the Most High Yah as well. And so I need to find out, how am I supposed to raise a girl? I was looking at all my Christian friends around me. Their girls are older because they, my oldest was a boy, their oldest was a girl. But now I'm looking at their girls. They're dressing, they're showing half their ass. They're just kind of, one was a youth pastor or a family pastor. His daughter's having a baby out of wedlock. I'm thinking like, okay, you guys may be men of God, but your daughters, I don't want my daughter looking like your daughter. So mine's 3. I'm gonna try to do this different. I can't keep going in the same vein that you guys are going in, because obviously something is not right. So when I started looking at that, I started reading the Bible. I've been reading the Bible, but I was looking specifically on what is the role of a woman. So one of the things I ran into is covering their head. Why are girls not covering their head when they're praying? So it started off as something as innocent. I didn't know it was going to cause a huge issue. It says in time of prayer or prophesy that the woman should have her head covered. So I said, hey, I need my daughter covered her head, and I wanted my wife to cover her head. And she says, I'm going back to my Muslim roots. I said, no, it's right here in the Bible. It's right here. Well, that's, you being legalistic. And what I started realizing was, before I can get on my daughter, who's only 2 or 3, I had to face my worst fear. I had to deal with my wife, because she was going to be the example that she's looking at. And so I can't be raising her one way and mommy is doing it totally different way.
Right.
No?
So if you could, we
Way longer than you asked me, but see, look, you can't be. That's the part.
oh no, we good. Hey, somebody was asking.
Yeah.
Somebody was asking me, so is it going to be a hard interview with Kabeer? Nah, all that Kabeer is easy to interview. You just steer him where you want him to go, and he just
Exactly. Yeah. So yeah. So
but
bring it
if
back
you could fast forward, the longer the marriage ended up falling apart.
Yeah.
And
So obviously we had some issues with the head cover, and the head cover went to the dream. I had a dream that God says you don't love me, and from that, and I have my own YouTube channel. So if anybody want to know the details, you can go to KGB 94 TV. That's a nice plug. But anyway, so I had that dream, and in that dream, God says you don't love me. And then obviously I say, I do love you. He says, you'll be tested. And so that kind of opened me up into a whole new world. Born again, I found Straitway, and I've been here ever since. Been keeping the Sabbath since that time.
now, Kabeer, real fast, if you could, because I want to set the stage for the direction we're going to go now. Talk about what you, or roughly what you have. I mean, you are successful in the world's eyes at this point when your marriage began going down the drain. I'm gonna put a picture up here real quick. That's your house right there, right?
That's my house. That's the house I built for my family. Yes.
And how big is it?
It's about 30,000 square feet.
And
it has an indoor pool.
That's the property, right?
It's 18 acres. It has an indoor pool, indoor basketball court,
Right.
A guest wing. It has a main house. It has over 6 kitchens, 20-something bathrooms, several garages. I mean, I think 7 to 8 garages for cars or whatever. So it's a big home.
And talk about what was in your mindset when you built it.
When I built it, obviously I wanted to build a home for my family, and that's the main house. But I also had in mind of just taking care of guests, people, with church people. A lot of the time when it was at church, they always put the church in the hotel. I think I have a gift in hospitality. I'm big on hospitality, and so I wanted to make sure that we had a house that had a guest swing so that we can have guests, and not only just one guest. We were fortunate to be able to have different guests that don't even know each other, because I had a lot of connection. I could say, hey, you can be in suite 1 or you can be in suite 2. We got a third suite. We can keep, they all had their code, the code to the gate, like a hotel, just really. And I was the one that, me and the cleaning lady, not my wife, but me and my cleaning lady, we're the one that made sure everything was, just first class and everything. And so that's kind of how that, and then we had the gym. And we rented it out to like the school, the Christian school, so they can do fundraiser. So I really try to use the house for the gospel. That's what I thought I was doing for the Christian community here. So
and basically you had the zeal, and as much as you had understanding, you were serving Yah. Kabeer, if you can talk a little bit about the dark, when things got real dark in your life, and the low point when after your wife, she had left, and right prior to meeting Pastor down Straitway. Talk about where you were at that point, and in that point in your life, if you could.
Yeah, I was just in a dark place. Obviously, being treacherously, she treacherously departed from me. It was done in a treacherous way. She talked to all of our so-called friends. They knew that she was going to be leaving. If anything, it was encouraged for her to leave me because they thought that I joined the cult, or I'm getting involved into cultish type of thing. It was dark. I had suicidal thoughts when they initially happened. The spirit of suicide was on me heavy. I mean, Satan was trying to take an opportunity to attack me on that one. But by the grace of Yah, he was able to bring some people just to kind of keep me from going in that direction. Pastor Dow played a huge part in that, just calling me every day. Literally, I don't even know how he was able to do that, him being a busy man, and who am I? I couldn't even get pastors around the area here just to come and check on me. And I got a pastor from Tennessee. I don't even know the man at the time, and he's calling on me. And I found out after a while that pastor was saying, sounds like you're in a better place now, but he could tell that I was in a dark place with his discernment. And that's why he called me. He kept checking on me. We'll talk for a good hour every day, an hour. And Pastor was, I'm indebted to him. So it was in a dark place. I mean, everything you have to know, I was a very popular, very well known, I guess. I don't know what you want. I thought I was loved, but now I know I wasn't. But at the end of the day, all of that stuff got stripped from me. I got stripped to just nothing. No one called me. No one would talk to me. No one would answer my phone call. My wife was able to do a great job in her smear campaign. So to the point where no one wanted to talk to me. And if anybody did talk to me, they got rebuked by her, and they didn't talk to me after that. So I may get, if I couldn't get my case, won at that time, it was over, So I was left. It was a kill shot. It was most definitely a kill shot. And I'm not supposed to be here talking to you right now, the way they were planning things, the way she planned things. Grace of Yah, I lived, and I'm able here to tell my testimony.
And so begin to move forward with that. And, after you met Pastor Dow, you began talking to him. And how did you go from reaching out to Pastor Dow and talking to him to becoming a community and beginning to move saints and basically turning your home into a community?
Well, we were just doing community. Pastor came up here in December of that year that my family left in 2017, came up here. He really just came up here. His primary focus, from what he told me, his primary focus was to help me with my wife, try to bring us together, talk to some of the Christian leaders here in hopes to see that, hey, how can we help these two people come together? If you want to know about the ministry, I'm here. My wife, he even brought Mother Carol, guess normally he wouldn't come. He brought her so that Eileen would have somebody that she can talk to from a woman's perspective, because, just going off of the film. But Pastor, in his wisdom, knew that she probably wouldn't come. Now I now know that, now that I've been in this, I get it. But in his wisdom, used this as an opportunity to reach out to anybody in this area, in the Wisconsin area, Minnesota, Chicago, anybody that's just in this northern hemisphere, to come and do a speaking engagement, And so he made something. So we got a hotel room, or at least a place where he can do speaking and everything like that. He came on a Thursday. He met with a lot of people. He met with the GM. He met with the head of the schoolmaster, Ron Young. Everybody knows with the debate. He met with a lot of people. Anybody that was being willing to meet with him. And my wife didn't show up. So anyway, after that, he kind of established something where I guess that's where you got Brother David, Brother Jordan, Brother Ryan, and obviously Brother David and Sister Evelyn and their little one, Amariah. But that was pretty much, and we had another guy here too, but that what kind of started our assembly. So we started off as just fellowshipping. I had the house. They made the food because I couldn't, I'm not a good cook. So they brought the food from Chicago. I think he was living in the Illinois area. So he was traveling every Shabbat. They'll come up on a Friday and they'll bring the meal. I gave them a place to stay. Ryan stayed somewhere in, where did he come from? James Adams, Wisconsin. He came from that direction. And we just met every Shabbat. The only thing that would kind of mess up maybe from David and Jordan coming up is bad weather. But other than that, they were here faithfully. We would just watch it. That's when I went from the prayer room to the theater room, and that's where I was watching it just to accommodate. And so we were just doing that. So anyway, fast forward, we were doing that for a week. And then Pastor Corey from Kansas City Straitway, he came up to visit me sometime. It had to be sometime in February because it was the Super Bowl. So he got to come up, check it out. We got to talk. I mean, we really hit it off. He spoke. That's when Brother Daniel came up because I played with Brother Daniel, who's the head of Straitway Indiana, but Goshen. He came up at that time. He wasn't a part of the ministry, just to make sure that I wasn't going crazy. I said, okay, hey, bro, you play in the league. His wife came, Sister Chris. They came up. They checked it out. They fell in love like man. And at that time, I was still seeing my children. So they even got dropped off that time. So they got to meet Pastor Dow. My children got to meet Pastor Corey. Even Chris and Brother Daniel was trying to talk to my wife outside at the time and saying, man, why don't you just come and check this thing out? I mean, they thought that I hated white people. There's a whole bunch of white people in the house. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, I mean, long story short, I mean, I'm just telling you that this is how I'm connecting the dots here, but this is how community happens. So then now I have a relationship with Pastor Corey. Are we good? Okay.
Yeah, we're good.
I have a relationship with Pastor Corey. And then Pastor Corey had wanted me and Brother Daniel. Now Brother Daniel joins the ministry. And so now I'm a part of the ministry. And he wanted to know if we can just come up to they had some type of football camp or some type of camp and wanted us to come to speak to the children, just encourage them, NFL players. And so, yeah, sure. And it gave us an opportunity to see the community. So we drove up to KC, me and I think it was after a feast, me and Brother Daniel and his family. We drove up to KC. And by the way, Brother Daniel's a bad driver. Just want to let you know for the record. Just want to put that in. So anyway, so we drove up and had a good time. But I saw how they did community. I'm like, wow, look at this. And now you have to understand that where they were at, it was one house, very small. I don't know how many people they had in the house. They had the service in the basement. Sometimes they'll go into the city. So we got to see when they go into the city, but it was just like, wow. Now it was small. It was really small, but the same spirit that you saw at Straitway Truth in Tennessee. And I'm thinking like, wow, this is a community. I said, I can do this and I can do it better. Now, I'm just saying that obviously I had way more house.
Right.
I mean, they were working with 2 bathrooms. I only knew of 1 bathroom, and that we were working with. I think the pastor had one, maybe Daniel had one, but I just saw what they were doing, and it just reminded me of me growing up. I'm like, it's just a family of God. And so on my way back, I got on the phone literally driving back to Green Bay. I called Pastor. I don't know if I called you guys, but I called Pastor Dow. I said, Pastor Dow, I want to do community, because you have to understand too. Let me say this. I didn't, I remember Pastor talking about it. I remember Brother David and Jordan talking about it. And to be honest with you, I didn't think community was necessary for me. I'm thinking like, oh, that's for people that, and I'm just being honest, maybe people that, need to put the resources together and, things of that nature. I just didn't see the need to do community, and not that I was even connecting the scriptures too at the time. I just wasn't, obviously I was coming from Christianity. So I heard about community, and to be fair, I remember Ron Young from the headmaster of Providence Academy, the one that he did the debate with. He's the one that actually brought community to me. And the way he sold it to me was that it was for people who are poor, people who don't have money, so that they can kind of do community, put their resources together. When they can get off their feet, then they can kind of get out of the community and start their own thing. So that's how, unfortunately, I kind of was looking at it from those lenses. But as my mind started being reshaped with the word and understanding what community was really about, wasn't for that purpose. So when I came back, I said, I want to do community, because I needed this family. You have to understand, I was by myself in this 30,000 square feet home, all by myself. I couldn't wait for Shabbat, because I knew that my brothers was coming, my sister was coming, food was coming. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, when they left, it was sad. Sunday, they'll leave on first day, and I literally would go back in bed and just sleep and hope that when I wake up, it's Shabbat again. Like I needed Shabbat, because you have to say, I wasn't leaving the house. No one was talking. I was just eating cereal. I mean, it was lonely. It was bad. I mean, so when I was around the saints, it really just gave me life. I needed that, And so anyway, so when I came back, I called Pastor, I said, Pastor, I want to do community. He says, okay, when you get back to Green Bay, give me a call. Make sure everybody's it's there, and we'll do some type of FaceTime or whatever. So anyway, I didn't know what he was going to say. I just told him I wanted to do community. And I think that's when I told the guys, hey, guys, I want to do community. Pastor said we're going to do a meet. So it was on our phone. I think Pastor was on the deck of at the dining hall, and it was right there. He says, okay, guys, Kabeer made it aware that he wants to do community. Is this something that you guys all want to do? I think these guys are already looking for community too. And so he says, okay, Brother Kabeer, you're going to be the head of the community, and Brother David, you're second in command. That was it. I did not do community thinking that I was going to be in command. I didn't think I was worthy for that. I just lost my family. I mean, I'm looking to David. Like I'm like, hey, I'm willing to get, if I gave my house to these heathens, to Christians, to these devil worshipers, right?
Mm-hmm.
How much more am I willing to give up my house to hey, if David's the guy and here's the resources? I was good. I was more than welcome to accommodate whatever. And so Pastor, and I'm like, I said, Pastor, what do I do? He said, run it. It's your house. Run it the way you run your house. You know what to do. And so I remember getting on my knees that night. I went to my bedroom and I prayed, and I now understood Solomon. Why Solomon says when he asked, he says, please give me wisdom to judge your people righteously, And that's what I did. I asked for wisdom because I'm thinking like, okay, I'm not just dealing with my children that came from my loins. I'm dealing with the children of Yah. This is a whole nother level of responsibility.
Right.
My children is pale. This is his children. This is his kingdom. And so I took this, and I still do take this with seriousness. This is a very serious responsibility, and I don't take it lightly. And so I had to pray for wisdom because I didn't even think I was fit. I was at a very, very humble state, and still am. But I was this lost everything. Just losing things, just like a Job moment, just losing everything that I've worked for, cherished, just gone. So that's how I became the head of community, and it was not something that I was, I didn't ask for, I didn't expect it. When David heard it, I heard it. When the community heard it, and the same core that was a part of that community is still a part of the community today.
Wow.
So I still have the original Brother David, Jordan, Ryan, Sister Evelyn, and Amariah, and then obviously we have additions that came from that, but that's the original of that assembly. So it started off as an assembly, and then eventually became a community. Wow.
And if you can talk about the one thing I wanted to talk about is when I met you at the first time I met you was at the Hebrew gathering, and up there in Detroit. And one of the remarks you said is that the brothers and sisters in Straitway and Straitway as a whole is light years ahead of these other Hebrew Israelite assemblies and of course Christians and stuff like that. Elaborate on that statement if you can.
Yeah, so we obviously this is after Pastor had done the debate with Ron Young. I finally got to see my old family with my new family, Straitway Truth Ministry, how we move, how we operate, how we support one another. You have to understand, Pastor came into the backyard of Green Bay. He came into their backyard, say, we will come on your turf. We will come to your church and we will do the debate. You host it, we will show up. So you were thinking that, hey, Jacob's Well, they're going to have home field advantage. Where our team came up from all over, from as far as West Coast, Los Angeles, I think somebody came from California, all over came in, was there on time. We took over the center row. Like it was like a center and then a right and a left. All of Straitway took over. So all these other people just kind of coming in late and they're like, whoa, that's our regular seat. So they had to sit off to the side. You could clearly tell who was Straitway and who weren't, just by the seating arrangement. So anyway, so it was kind of cool for me. It solidified for me that, okay, maybe now they come together. Let's hear the arguments. Maybe Ron Young is going to put Pastor in this place. And I didn't think that, but you know what I'm saying? But you get to see your two world your old world, new world coming together. And it was kind of like this. It was like, wow, I'm on the better team. Like, I feel like good. I'm so glad to be on that team. Like, they just got their ass whipped. You know what I'm saying? So I was very proud to be a part of Straitway because of how Pastor Dow handled himself in the debate, how we handled ourselves, how we left the place better than we left it. I mean, it was just, and then we celebrated. We went to the house, we partied. You know how we Hebrews, we know how to party righteously, right. And so it was just beautiful. So I saw how Pastor completely just annihilated the Christian, my that world. He just completely took it. Wasn't right. Even. It was not. I mean, I'm glad Pastor did it, but it probably was a waste of his time. But I'm glad he did it, and even though it probably was beneath Pastor and of his knowledge and his understanding, but pastors still took the debate serious. I think Ron Young did not take it serious like he should have. And so that right there shows you that pastor wasn't doing it for me. He wasn't doing it for Ron. He was doing it for Yah. And he represented Yeshua HaMashiach well, very well. And so I just feel like I'm part of the New England Patriots team. Like, this is the championship team. So anyway, so that's that side. So I know the Christian circle, and I was very impressed. Now we go into the Hebrew gathering, right? So now I'm starting to, the only thing I really know is about Straitway. I heard about some IUIC and some, camps. I don't know. I'm new to the whole Hebrew. So I'm thinking like, wow, this is like the all-star. This is the Hebrews of Hebrews. Like, this is all of them coming together. So now I'm trying to see how pastor's going to, fare in this environment, because now everybody's kind of talking but never really came together. This is like really the first time with, Ron Dalton. This is the first time that all these, YouTubers are coming together. And
right.
And it was a big event. I thought it was a pretty big event. So I just thought, I didn't know what to expect. So I come in here, I'm just looking. I said they look like Hebrew. I mean, they Hebrewish, I guess, but they look like Christians. They didn't look any different from the Christian people we just left. You just look at how they move. They're not organized. They're just doing their own thing. There's no order. And it just made me think like, man, Pastor, even in the Hebrew, same genre, same category, right? If you want to call Hebrew or Hebraism, like, what's the Bodhi say, vocab, whatever. But anyway, I don't know what he calls it. But you know what I'm saying? I'm saying even in that, pastor was light years ahead. That was just the best way I said, Pastor, you're light years ahead. Because what makes pastor and Straitway different from Christians and even the Hebrew community, if you want to call it Hebrew community, is that pastor out of all of them is a doer. And that's what you don't see people doing. People talk about it. They make 3-hour YouTube videos about all these studies.
Oh, no. Hey, not 3 hour, 10 hours.
Wow, 10 hours. So they can't be doing stuff. And you and I both having our own channel. I haven't been able to do much. Why? Because I'm busy I'm about the work. I'm trying to make sure to have something to talk about. Instead of just talking about it, I want to be doing. So if I'm doing, it's kind of hard to talk about, And so in the beginning, it was a time, a season for that. But now I'm in the business of I'm about my Father's business. And in doing that is helping Straitway Truth Ministry be the very best that we can be. But yeah, so pastor by far, what makes it different is he's a doer of the word. He not only preaches it, he's a doer of the word. And that's the one that's going to be greatest in the kingdom of heaven. And that's why Straitway Truth Ministry is light years ahead of any ministry that I know in the United States of America. Yep, there you go, right there. Yeah, so they're light years ahead and than anybody. And anybody that also you always said it too. I love how you always said the footwork, with the little.
We gotta watch the dance people do.
Exactly. So that's what I saw. I was just observing it. And I saw what he did the Christian circle. I saw what he did with the Hebrews, and then now just recently saw what he did with Portland. Once again, Straitway is light years ahead, led by Pastor Dow, because Pastor Dow is a doer of the word. He is he's led the way, and Yah is blessed. He's literally anointed. He's anointed by the Most High Yah.
That's right. The speak a little bit, if you can, about, because I don't think people understand. But when you talk about what it like, because I know me, for instance, being around Straitway, we fellowship with Straitway. I live with the saints and everything like that. And then when you finally get a chance to come out from around that, you realize how much set apart you are. Just talk about some of the stuff you picked up on as far as like the way their women conduct themselves versus the way Straitway women might conduct themselves, and the big differences you see or that you saw
at the Hebrew
event, and just in general.
Their women wear makeup. Our women doesn't wear makeup. Their women show a little bit of cleavage and some skin. Our women are more they're more modest, you know. I mean, just the spirit is different, you know, totally different spirit. The men, really, and I'll tell you, our men are patriarchal. I see in the Hebrew that they're really matriarchal. Really, it looks like they're patriarch, but they're really matriarch. The women are still running the show. They can't really. Let's be real. You can see it once you've been a simp. You know what a simp looks like. I live with that simp for 40 years of my life, so I can smell a simp from a mile away. Cover it up, you know, paint it. You can see it. So you saw that. You saw how they elevated the women in that conference or whatever, the gathering and stuff. So it was just different. I mean, you can tell it wasn't. I mean, from a distance, maybe we look the same, but as you get a closer look, like, whoa, there's a huge difference between the two.
So, and one of the things, if you could elaborate a little more, you spoke on it earlier, that I just want you to elaborate on again to drive the point home, because I see a lot of people. As a matter of fact, Brother Tony sent an excellent question concerning this. You see people who, for whatever reason, they're not giving all, you know, and they don't even have anything, you know, and then you see some people who do have a lot of stuff. And one of the things when me and you had talked is you eliminate the excuse for anybody who's making excuses about, you know, wealth, money, notoriety and all that. You have all those things, and you, like I heard you say earlier, you went all in with Straitway. A lot of people's thinking is, oh, if I got money, I'm good. What does he need with community? What is community doing for Kabeer that he couldn't have done for himself? This, that, and the other. Can you speak on that?
No, most definitely. I need community, because where the community is where the kingdom of Yah is. You cannot. I mean, that's when Jesus said in Matthew 6:33, he says, "Seek." Don't worry about what you're going to eat, what you're going to drink, what you're going to wear, but seek first his kingdom. And his righteousness. Well, the righteousness is the law of Yah. That's how you can do what's right in his eyes, by keeping his commandments. And then 2, where there's laws, there's a kingdom. There is some type of government. Well, that's the kingdom of Yah. The community is the kingdom of Yah. You're the head of a community. I'm the head of a community. So guess what that makes you? You're an ambassador of the embassy in the Florida area. I'm the ambassador here to Wisconsin. So we got the embassy of the kingdom of Yah right here on Wisconsin land, and I'm the ambassador. And so when people are trying to look for the nearest straightway or the nearest kingdom, just go to your nearest kingdom. Go to your nearest straightway. That is where you're going to see that. You're going to see the peace of Yah. You're going to see deliverance. You're going to see the people of Yah. You're going to see the citizen, because in here we keep the commandments of Yah. Our king is Yeshua HaMashiach. He's the King of Kings. And so I don't know how anybody that says that they're a child of Yah don't want to be around the people of Yah. It says it in 1 John. It says that you know that you know him, and when you love the children, if you don't love the children of Yah, you're not going to want to be a part of community. And so that's how I see the community. The community is the kingdom. The kingdom of heaven is at hand. It is near. This is it right here. This is where the kingdom of Yah is. So I need community, because I'm trying to make it. Because if you can't do it here, you're not going to be able to do it in truly in the kingdom of heaven. You're not going to be able to do that. So if we can't live amongst each other here on earth, there's nowhere we're going to do it in heaven.
Right. Kabir, can you? I don't
know if I answered your question. I know you know.
Oh, you did. You did.
What is a prophet meant to to forfeit?
My computer is acting up, man. It's.
Yeah. I know it's when you know when it's good when the computers start acting up stuff.
Yeah. All right, so Kabir, if you can talk about how your community functions. Your house is huge, and so you're able to accommodate a lot of saints in the house. Just talk about how it functions. And I was just talking to you, talking to Dave, and listening. It's like talk about also how the efficiency of living communally has helped you in your life. You know what I'm saying?
So in Pastor Corey, I saw Pastor Corey's interview, and he was just talking about every community is different. So obviously our community came, obviously it already came with a house. It came with rooms, so we didn't have to build per se like some of the other communities that you're seeing. So here we were just filling up the rooms. And I can honestly say that we are at a point that this home is too small for this community. For us to continue to grow, we got to get something bigger. And not necessarily a house, but we need more land. We need to be in a place because there's things that we can't do. We want to, get better in our security, weapons trainings. But we can't shoot here because we're kind of still, even though we're in the outskirt in the suburb and by golf course. But you do stuff like that, it will just bring too much attention that we don't want. We want to build more houses, and do farming stuff. So that's why we're in the process. That's the brothers right there that you see right there. We're outgrowing this stuff. So, but right now, the way we function is we just try to maintain this home as if it was Jesus' house itself, keep it, clean, maintain it so that when we sell it, it's in good condition, because we're going to have that same thing. I have a saying that be faithful in the little things. If you're not faithful with this, we're not going to be faithful wherever we go. So wherever we go, we're going to keep the same standard of living. We're going to keep the same standard of faithfulness, cleanliness, excellence. That's something that I push in this community, is really just being faithful in the little things. And that if we're faithful with this, which is little, I know people think it's big because it's 30,000 square feet. If we're faithful with this, Yah's going to give us something bigger because we were faithful with this. And so that's why we're right now looking at a 700,000 acre right now in Tennessee. So we plan on moving where now, because when I built this house, it was more built for a single family with the ability to be able to host, to be able to, be charitable in different ways. And then we turned it into a community. And so now we got to find land. And now when I'm looking for this land, I'm not looking for a single family. I'm looking for a community and that we can grow. One of the things that we do is we started a business now. It started off with just guys working, bringing our resources together, paying bills. No one has rent, phone bills, all of the stuff. Everything just comes in one pot. And then I manage that and making sure that everybody has what they need. The sisters have what they need. The brothers have what they need. Families have children. We have a home. We have a school. Sister Evelyn, Brother David's wife. She's she actually has a degree in education. So she heads up our education. So we have an academy here at Straitway Praiseland. And the children are growing, learning to win, and they can learn everything, where Yeshua is truly, Jesus Christ is truly the center. Everything revolves around his feast. There's no more Christmas, Thanksgiving. Everything revolves around his commandments. We got the guys now working, and we didn't start off this way. The guys was, first they were doing, walking at Walmart. Then Walmart turned to, I knew a guy that did drywall. I said, hey, go work for those guys, because we're going to have to learn. I want you guys to learn a skill that could be something that we can use on community. So the guys are doing drywall. They became so very good workers. Eventually, one guy, they let one of our guys go because of the whole court case, because our guys got arrested. So he eventually had to lose. But anyway, that created an opportunity, and so now we started a drywall business called Royal Interiors, and it's led by Brother Jordan. He's doing a great job. Now we just looked at the books. This year alone, they've brought in $90,000.
Wow!
With the help of Brother Elijah, Brother Case, they're the primary guys that's doing the drywall business, and they've been doing a good job.
And I'm trying to get the pictures up, but I promise this is acting up too. But I got it.
Yeah, no problem.
Stuff ain't stopping me.
Yeah,
I'm the one for them to throw technical stuff at, and I'll fix it.
All right. Yeah. So
here's some pictures of the brothers and the business that Kabeer has been talking about.
Yep. So that's Brother Elijah. He's Dr. Hines. We got Brother Case right there. And so they do drywall. They do a very good job. And even because of our spirit, it's not your typical drywallers. These guys don't be playing, crazy music. We work with excellence. I stress to the guy that everything we do is like doing it for Jesus Christ. We represent, so everything is done with excellence. So to the point now where contractors are seeing this, it's like, man, you guys are different. It's not like they're going around preaching. They're just working. They go and work. We can work on first day. A lot of people can't work on first day because it's Sunday. So when first day comes, they're working all the way to Shabbat. So we got them uniforms now. They do have a uniform and how they represent. And Brother Jordan's done a great job. I said, okay, Brother Jordan, I'm going to entrust this to you. We bought a truck.
Their internet might have went out again. Y'all know we under attack, man. Y'all need to pray, man. Pray for technical technical blessings, because they definitely, I think Kabeer's internet went out again. What I'm gonna do is just wait for him to call me, and we're gonna continue the interview. We're gonna press forward. We're gonna keep shaking heavy. We're gonna keep moving hard. We're gonna press forward. It's like all my stuff is under attack here. All right. Can you hear me, Dave? What's that music? Boy, this is crazy. Yeah, this is crazy, man. All right, hold on. Can you hear me? All right, put Kabeer on. We'll just continue on speaker till you come back up again, okay? All right. All right, go ahead, Kabeer.
Are you able to hear me?
Yeah, and so so you were talking about the business. You said y'all got uniforms.
Yeah, we got uniforms. So everything that guys do is they do it with excellence, right? So it's getting to the point where now we're becoming known in the inner circles of the drywall industry, where guys are now getting more bids, and so we expect to be making maybe close to 200, even maybe close to $300,000, in next year for sure. But we're getting really, but we're doing well. The overhead is low. I mean, it's very profitable, very profitable.
Right.
And then we got Brother Ryan and Brother Tristan. They're doing the framing. So they work with another guy. And once again, just the way our guys are, their spirit, their work ethic. I think it's like I said, stress guys being that they work hard. They work hard, do everything, be faithful, treat your boss like it's Jesus Christ himself. You do everything with the thing, and you'll see that's it's gonna help you a lot. So even the people that they're working with, this guy for the framing, he says, man, you guys are good, man. I mean, when you guys move, he said, when you guys move, I think I'm going to retire. Because I'm not going to find he says, I'm not going to find anybody as good as you. You know what I'm saying? And he doesn't even want to teach them necessarily everything yet, because he's afraid they're going to take over, because that's how good they are,
Yeah.
And I told him, hey, you be loyal to that man, learn everything you can learn, and, be loyal to him. He'll teach you the business. So anyway, so we got the drywall, we got the framing company going. I mean, there's not a company. Hold on.
All right, so he's back on. We're bringing Kabeer back in. I'm a Hank. He hung up.
Okay, but yeah, so you can see the guys with their framing. So they're doing a great job. So they're making the money. So right now, our attitude is just keep stacking. We're just gonna keep stacking. Try to make sure that we can able to get to the point to maintain this house without pulling from the brokerage account. Just even financially, I mean, I'm a financial advisor, and I'm gonna tell you, I wish I would have known about community a long time ago. But just financially, can you imagine when you put all the resources together, just economically? When you think about it economically, we got, instead of me hiring a woman to come and clean my house, what I used to do with my one family, I got sisters now who cook and clean. And they make sure the food is there. I mean, we get treated like better than restaurant. I don't even want to go to a restaurant. I'd rather just stay home and eat here. Yeah. Over, I'm like, hey, just come over to the house. Trust me. Yeah. No one's gonna beat our sisters. You know what I'm saying? I mean, yeah. So it's just I mean, even my dad, Pastor Dow, told me to bring my dad home. I used to pay $40,000 there. Now, Sister Kyrisha, she take care of my dad. I mean, when I think about the money I've saved, I mean, I think I did the calculation. I think I'm saving $170,000 a year that I used to pay. But that's just, I mean, we cut our own grass now. We maintain the land with Brother David. He's leading that. He take care of the ground. So when you see the ground and the grass being kept, the landscaping, that's led by that Brother David. So we just try to make sure that says, okay, maybe we can't build. Maybe we can't do the gardening like we want to do it. Because right now, that's not even where we want it to be. That's not Praiseland standard. Because like I said, we're limited a little bit. But I said, let's be faithful with this stuff. But these are skills that will be transferable when we move into our land. Because we're going to have that same work ethic, the same. I always make a big deal about aesthetics. I like things to be aesthetically pleasing. So we're still going to have that same standard, first class standard mentality wherever we go. We're not just going to just, throw some stuff together and say, hey, we got a functional house. The house down, they got to be functional, but they got to be aesthetically pleasing. The community got to be not only functional, but aesthetically pleasing because we're doing this for Jesus. So anyway, I mean, so that's how we pretty much operate. I mean, we and I am the vineyard. I'm the husband of this community. And I always tell the brothers and the sister, you guys are the bride. And the way you treat me like Christ Jesus, just like now as a community, we treat Pastor Dow or the elders like they're Christ, And so we here at Straitway Praiseland, we see all of ourselves as servants. And I'm the chief servant because believe it or not, the person who lead has to be the chief. You have to, the greatest among you is the one who's going to be the one that serves. And so, but yeah, that's how it's kind of a snapshot of what we're doing here at Straitway Praiseland right now. As the community head, I've been really focusing on developing foundations I've already gone through it a lot already. I've already come out of her personally, just personally. We now are at a position where we don't pay property tax anymore. We don't pay income tax. We don't pay sales tax. So we are a fully functional ministry, and we are now helping all the other communities do the same as well.
That's good. That's good. That's good. So if you could, and 1 second, for those of you watching, we're about an hour in. If you guys have any questions, comments, or concerns, definitely put them in the comments. Brother Kabeer, I got a couple of questions here. So this is Brother Tony. He had a question. He said, and this goes along the line of what we had, some of the stuff you had hit on earlier. It said, you being a man of much wealth and esteem, worldly possession by the world's standards, I guess, how difficult was it for you to be obedient to Yah's calling, being willing to give up all and living in a community with Yah's people?
Well, it's twofold, but it was very difficult. It was very difficult because the actual of doing community action of giving all was easy once I already made the hardest part was losing my family. That hit me to the core. That if anybody knew me back in the days, automatically you say Kabeer's a family guy. Even in my playing days, you can talk to brother Daniel. When people are going to the nightclub, I'm going home. If I came home late, it's because I was in the locker room sharing the gospel, literally sharing the gospel, trying to win people over to Christ, or just make a plea for the gospel. But other than that, I was a family guy. So when I had that dream and I had to choose between my wife, and it wasn't, you would think that it was like, it was, in my world, it was very clear. Either keep the Shabbat or lose your family, or keep your family and stop keeping the Shabbat. It didn't matter how you twist it, no matter how you turn, no matter how they were trying to trick you. That Shabbat, man, I'm telling you, that's a special day. The way people react, I bet you if I did it on Tuesday, Wednesday, I would have not experienced what I experienced. I could have said I was gay, and that would have been, I could have still kept my family. But that Sabbath day, man, So I mean, I'll just give you some scenario. Like it was a situation. He says, okay, if we come back home, this is what my wife said. If we come back home, does the children have to keep the Sabbath day? Yeah, sons and daughters, anybody within your gates, yes, they would have to. Then we're not coming back home until you come back to your senses. Can you believe that? I mean, that it wasn't like kinda. It was straight like, are you?
That's a straight demon. That's a devil.
Okay, I'm okay with you negotiating with you keeping the Sabbath. Does the children have to keep it? Yes, anybody within the gates. And we really have gates here. So yes, they would have to keep the Shabbat. And so that was it. There was a situation where the pastor said, hey, your son, this is when my family's already broken up now. He said, hey, well, show your children that you love them. Well, your son's playing football. He's playing because of you. You play football. You should go watch him play football. I said, well, what day does he play football? He said, does it matter? Yes, it does matter. What day? He wouldn't tell me. So I called the school. I said, hey, when do they play football? Friday nights or Saturday morning. So if I go to the game to show my son that was you, show my son that I love him. If I go and watch him play, I show that I love him and I hate Yah. But if I
that is why literally Christianity, me and the brothers were talking about this yesterday. We were just marveling at how perfectly opposite to the word Christianity is, but more so how Christianity, like we were talking a lot of times, I'll ask a guy, like when I ask people who first come into this, instead of asking them, is your wife in the truth? I just ask, does your wife go to church? Most of the time they say yes. I already know they getting ready to have problems. But Kabeer, if you could talk about the difference between the Ashaya you have now and the Ashaya you used to have.
Well, I'll tell you one thing they have in common. They're both women, but there is a difference.
That's it. That's where the difference is.
Yeah. But there's a commonality. But the difference is she's obedient. The other one was disobedient. She is teachable. The other one was not teachable. This one, Sister Bree, she's trying to abide in me as I abide in Christ. She's trying to learn. Does that mean she doesn't have to know? I got to rebuke. That's the thing as a husband, you have to learn to rebuke your wife. You cannot, like Mother Carol said it best. She said that Pastor Dow did not baby her. You can't baby these women. You have to dominate them. You have to rule over them. I'm not saying abuse them, but you got to treat them like they're children. You got to really develop their character, their inner, because they're women are very emotional. I mean, that's why it was bad when I was in Christianity trying to make a woman. How are you going to make a happy wife, happy life? That's impossible. I mean, I would say a woman's emotion is, I would say cryptocurrency stock market, the market is way more stable than a woman's emotion. Their emotions just go. I mean, I'll put more faith in that or in the stock market than a woman's emotion. And so that's why as a man, you have to be a strong pillar. You cannot move. You cannot be swayed by their emotions. You got to know where you're going, what you're doing, what you need from them, and make it very clear. You demand. Right.
And so what I found with Straitway and just being a biblically masculine man, when you are grounded and you create a grounded environment, that trickles down a little. It's not like being at Busch Gardens on a roller coaster. It's more like the emotional roller coaster is like a kiddie ride. Then
exactly. And I'll even say this too, that like I've been with Bree for now 2 years now, and I've been pouring into her, still continue to pour into her, water her with the word, continue to provide for her. But the beauty about being in this situation is to see how she's grown as a woman now. And she continues to grow. I mean, we're going to be together for a long time, but as she's growing, matter of fact, I was just gone in Portland, and I just heard, there's a thing that I do in the community with the single sisters and my wife, where I just give them an opportunity to ask questions and things of that nature. And I found out just this past thing that I said, so what'd you guys do when I was gone? She said, yeah, Bree kept that stuff, kept going. Say, hey, where'd you glean from the message? You know, the same thing that I did. I said, why did you do it? I didn't tell her to do it. She knew that that's what I would have done. So she continued to operate the community with the sisters the same way it was when I was gone. And so I told her I was very proud of her and everything. And you see that as a man, when you are in your role, you actually help that woman to be in her role, and you help her to make it to the kingdom. And so, yeah, that's me talking to the sisters. I think I was teaching them how to play chess or soon. But anyway, but you can just see that it's very important for us to be in role. So you don't want to come in with the same Christian mentality and being a simp, come into his role. You got to understand being an alpha, being dominant, being is not abusive. Now we've been taught that's bad, that's controlling. Then no, you want to be in control. If you don't have control of your woman, then you're not really in rule. Satan is in control, because if it's not you, it's gonna be Satan. So who do you want? Because Yah is the head of man, right? But if the woman's the head, then you got Satan in control. So I don't want Satan to be in control of my house anymore. I don't want to be in control of the community. So I'm going to be the head, and I'm going to submit to Yeshua HaMashiach, Jesus Christ. So, but it's totally different. So, and then if you look at what Bree has done for 2 years for me, she has done more for me as a helpmeet than my wife of 16 years. Why? Because she cooks, she cleans, she take care of my little one. She's about to, I mean, she's done way more. The other one, all she did was sleep, shop, just be contentious, complain, no matter what you gave her, no matter what you did, totally different. And I'm able to do so, and to be honest, I'm able to do so much more now. I'm able to travel. I'm able to do things that I couldn't do before, because before everything was anchored to a woman's emotions. And so now I'm able, if I need to go, and pastor say, Kabeer, I need you in Portland, boom, gone. I'm not saying like, oh, let me check with my wife. No, pastor, I'm available. I got a good leadership in Brother David. He's second in command. So the way I got the community set up is that I should be able to be very mobile. I should be able to move as I need to go, and the things should still continue to run even when I'm not here physically. And so that's why everything is ran through Brother David before it gets to me. So I kind of do what Pastor Dow does on a mini level, And so when Pastor tell me I got to go, boom, go. And everything should still continue to roll. They got the guys got credit cards because we have everything in the foundation. We have foundation cards, so they got the resources they need to buy groceries, to buy gas, whatever they need. So I don't have to be here all the time doing things. So the community is set up in such a way that if I leave and have to be gone for a period of time, the community can still run. I'm the one that has to be available for my master, or in this case, pastor. Oh, don't say that. Don't say that. But I have to be available for my pastor, my shepherd.
Right.
Does that make sense? So
That's
he's kind of like my helpmeet. My wife is my helpmeet for my home, but Brother David is like my helpmeet when it comes to running the community.
We got another question. Well, we got a question here too. And all right, so I'll put it up here on the screen so y'all can see it. Brother Dope said, what was the greatest lesson and thing that Pastor Dow taught you, Brother Kabeer?
How to be a man, how to be a man of Yah, and how to do that and not apologize for being a man. In Christianity, you feel guilty, just like these people in the West Coast, they feel guilty for being white. I felt guilty for being a man. I felt guilty for wanting to rule my house well. And so Pastor Dow taught me how to be a man. He taught me how to be a man and not apologize for being a man, and to be a godly man, and how to really walk the word out, to really not only just talk about it, but be a doer of the word. So, I can go into, you can check my YouTube channel, but I can go, there's so many things Pastor taught me, but that's the greatest thing, is how to be a man of Yah. And how does he do that? It's through his example. Pastor not only preaches, he does a great job in preaching it, but more importantly, he does a great job in applying it, showing, so we can physically see. We have no excuse. We see the man of Yah doing it. And so that is the greatest thing, is the fact that I can see it. Even when it comes to deliverance. I laid hands on people when I was in Christianity, but to do deliverance, I seen it, never questioned it, but I never thought I could do it. But Pastor Dow has done it. He's been such an example and shown the simplicity of Yeshua HaMashiach, Jesus the Christ, and the power that we have. And all you got to do is touch and agree. And I mean, there was a situation with Sister Maya. We have Sister Maya here. I mean, she was, 70 pounds. Looked like she was gonna die. I'm thinking like, man, we need to bring the big guns. Pastor, this is for you. I can't do. He said, no, you have everything you need. He didn't say, no, Kabeer, let me take care of this stuff. This for the big dog. He says, no, you got the same power that's in me as in you too. You just got to believe. Don't doubt. And guess what? I did it. And guess what? Now the sister is 120-some pounds. She's about to get married. Look at her. Look how beautiful she is. She's about to get married to Brother Jordan. I handpicked her. Me and Pastor John handpicked her husband for her. She's one of my prodigy. I literally has discipled this sister into an obedient wife. I tell Brother Jordan, I say, man, you got better than me sometimes. This because I got her. She came straight to Straitway, and I was able to shape her for. I've had her longer than I had Bree, and so to pour into her, I've set her up to be a good, godly wife, and she's going to be a great mother, a great helpmeet, and so they're going to get married sometime next year. So,
wow. That's awesome.
Yeah.
All right, we're going to take another question because the questions are pouring in. All right. Let's see. All right, all right. It is all right, he said, this brother Terrence asked, can you speak on when someone leaves a community, the impact it has on the saints and how Yah fills the gap?
Well, I can tell you this, it's tough. I'm not going to lie. When you have somebody, especially somebody that's been a part of the community, we had one. We had a brother here, Brother Solomon here for 2 years, him, his wife, his 4 children. He had one born here in Straitway Praiseland. And when they left, that was a huge gap because, you depend on it. It's like a body, it's like losing an arm. It's
right.
And so now we just got to, we lost the arm, recover, badge it up, and we got to get back in. But, I got to say this. Every time somebody leaves, Yah brings somebody back, So it's like
right.
The saying that Yah divides by multiplying, and he subtracts by adding,
right.
adding, subtracting, and multiplying by dividing. So, and that is a true statement. We have experienced that. It's like a pruning. When something gets pruned, and guess what? When he left, we didn't even realize how much of his spirit was holding us back. And when he left, it allowed us to even now expand even better and stronger and not make some of the mistakes that we made with that family. So, but it's tough. It's tough. After you lose your wife and your children, I don't know if anything is going to ever top that off. But
all right, along that lines of what you just said there, Kabeer, a brother asked, hello, brother, are you taking legal actions against your ex-wife to get custody of your 10 children?
I have 8 with I am going to have a total of 10, but only 8. But to answer the question, no, I am not taking any legal actions against my ex-wife to get custody of my children. I've let them go. It's just a waste of time. It's a waste of time when you go through that process. All they do is try to get your money. They waste your time. And I need to be focused on my Father's business. The Bible makes it very clear when Jesus said, let me go say this. He says, let me go bury my father. Let the dead bury the dead. Or anybody that puts their hands on the plow and not fit to, that looks bad, not fit for the kingdom. So I'm just really focused on the kingdom. Did I try? I did everything I could do without giving too much, and it's really set up just to grind you. You can't travel. They try to put your custody time on Tuesday, Thursday, and this day, and it just sucks up your time. It's just better to just let them go. And one day when the children get old enough and they come to the end of themselves, or whoever comes to the end of themselves, you just have to be prepared to receive them, like the prodigal son came back to the father. And so my goal is to make sure that I am living the most fruitful life that I can live, that when they come and see me, they're not going to see me in the streets, depressed because my wife took everything. They're going to see me thriving. They're going to see me in my glory. So I'm sure that when they come back and see me, everything is bigger land, more house, more families. Because Jesus, if I can read this, let me just read the scripture.
Go ahead.
He says this in Mark 10:29. This is my theme This is the theme of my life ever since it happened. It says, and Jesus answered and said, verily I say unto you, there is no man that has left house, brethren, sister, father, or mother, or wife, or children, or lands, for my sake and the gospel, but he shall receive 100-fold. Now, in this
life, yeah.
House, brethren, sisters, mothers, children, lands, and then include wife in there, but I think wife was taken out, but I'm gonna put wife, right? I'm not adding, I'm just thinking, anyway. Persecution, it says, and with persecution in this world to come, eternal life. But many of them that are first shall be last, and the last shall be first. So that's what I hang my hat on, and it's proof. I had a wife, and I had 7, and then the 8th one came in later, but I had 8 children. And now I have a house here full of 16 people that I'm responsible, 16, 17 people, including the people that come weekly Shabbat that's coming from different parts of the area here. So my house is, I tell you, we outgrown our house. I never thought in a short spirit, man, we have already outgrown to the point now we got to get an upgrade. And so I'm going from 18 acres to 700 acres, but my goal is to eventually get to 2,000 acres down the road. I know everybody says that, but down the road to get that 100-fold. So we're going to see it in our lifetime by the grace of Yah.
All right. Somebody else asked, could you explain some of the tests that you used to give to Sister Bree before you decided to marry her?
Just give her commands, things that I knew that anything that I thought that she didn't like. One of the things was she didn't want to call me master. So I said, so then I make her call me master, or anything that I can, because there's some things that a sister can do, like cook for you. They can do. So if I find a thing that they don't want to do, it's really not about the actual thing. It's about, are you going to do the things that you don't want to do to please me, to obey me, right? And where did I get that from? Yah does that, right? Did you think I want to give up my family? I didn't want to lose my marriage of 16 years. I invested 16 years of time, money. We had 8 babies from that stuff. And Yah used that to test to see if I love him. And so the way you're going to know if a woman loves you is making her do things that she don't want to do. One of the tests was, I don't want you calling your family. And everybody's different. I'm just telling you what, I'm just answering a question for me. But one of the things was, I told her I didn't want her calling her mom or her family for 6 months to a year until I tell her say so. Because I need to make sure, because now I know the importance, because, they're all thinking like, oh, this is weird. Why are you marrying him? And this. So I said, I just cut it off because I need you to be abiding in me. I don't need you to be having all these extra voices. So I gave her a new number so she doesn't call them. And then when the time came when she can now start calling her family, I said, now you call from my number. So then the family, if they want to talk to her, they have to go through me. Everybody has to go through me. But then obviously, once I kind of seen that she's willing to do these different things, there was a situation where I went down to Kansas City and we had a little bit of extra time before we got on the plane. And she was just wondering, like, she said, hey, can I go see my family one more time before we get on the plane? This is when I actually went to go pick her up and everything. And she already saw her the night before, but she was thinking like, hey, maybe we can just hang out with my mom before we get on the plane. And I said, this is a great opportunity to test her. And I told her, I said, what is it? I said, anybody that looks back is not fit for the kingdom. And she turned and cried. And I used that as an opportunity because it was an opportunity to see, is she going to make a big deal that I'm not going to let her see? Even though we had 2 hours, she could have gone see her mom one more time and kiki. But I used that opportunity. And I said, I'm not going to let an opportunity like that go to waste. So I took advantage of that to see if she's going to follow me. So, and you do that throughout your marriage. It's not just that one thing, but this is some of the things I did and the opportunity that presented itself that allowed me to know that she loved me. So every situation is different. It just depends on, I think is wherever your heart is, that's where your treasure is. So she valued her mother's relationship. She values certain things. So whatever I see that she has value, or her own pride, her own whatever that is, if I identify it, I'm going to test it.
Okay. Brother Kabeer, from coming from the female aspect of community living, what kind of support system does Sister Bree have within the community? and the structure and what are the benefits? I know, like, for instance, here, you know, you have sisters who have children and everything like that, and just having the sisters there in the house helps out with childcare and all that stuff. So if you can elaborate on all that.
I think the sisters have it easier than all. I think when we started community, well, I would say Sister Evelyn was different because she was by herself. But when all the sisters start coming, I think the sisters in the beginning have it easier because in the sense that when there's other sisters, you don't have to, all the cooking is not on you. You can share the cooking load. You can share the cleaning load. You can help with the little ones, and so it's just natural when you have sisters.
Yeah.
I mean, it's kind of like being a polygynist, but you have multiple families in this case, and
right.
different. But I mean, it's not all in one person. Maybe instead of Bree cooking every day of the week, she only has to cook maybe twice a week or 3 times a week, where she's responsible, or she only has to clean this part of the house. I mean, we got a 30,000 square feet home. Can you imagine if she was just the only woman? That means she would have to clean the whole house. But now you can split it up. This sister have this room or that section or that, and so Bree leads that. She does a great job of leading the sisters. She gets help with Sister Evelyn as a second in command when it comes to the sisters and everything like that. And it's beautiful just to even see how even Sister Evelyn, she was the lead because I didn't have a wife at the time, and then how she just naturally came and became a support for Bree as Bree started leading and taking over the leadership role. And even when sisters are pregnant, when we go for the purification, I don't know if you got the experience when you go into purification, well, now all the other sisters pick up the roles and everything like that. And now she can enjoy the baby and have that time and not have to worry about her duties and everything. Say, hey, just enjoy the little one. I mean, it was big for us when we had our baby. We had a premature son. He came out a little bit early there. And Bree, it was good to have that support. It wasn't all on her. She got to be in purification. She got double purification because the first 2 months, my son was in the hospital. And then when he came home, we gave her just another one where she can just bond and and to start breastfeeding because he was struggling with that because he started off with the bottle. And so it was a challenge. And I'm just thinking if it was a regular situation, she would never been able to get that thing latched on. So community is, I think community benefits the women more than anybody. I mean, that's just my opinion. I don't know. Maybe people may say I'm crazy on that one, but I think they.
But no, and what you said makes sense because what this society has done is turn everybody's roles perfectly upside down. So the woman's out of the house; she don't have time with her children. So yeah, they get back in their natural role. So yeah, I agree with you on that.
Yeah. Children benefits too as well because obviously mom is home. We're going sisters, daughters can grow up and learn how to be a woman. We can take the boys and go with the bigger boy, go with the men and learn how to. It's community is the perfect environment to really raise a biblical family. I mean, now you.
See, there you go, boy. He was getting it. I'm telling you, man, it froze up again. It looked like the internet went down, but he gonna call me. But he was really getting after it, I'm telling you, man, Satan don't want this stuff coming out. But yeah, his thing froze up again. But we're gonna Dave will be calling me here in a sec, and we're gonna pick right up where Kabeer left off. All right, there they are. All right, hold on. All right, go ahead, Kabeer. You said pick up where you were at, where you said community is a perfect place to raise a righteous family, if you could.
To a biblical family, yeah. I mean, it's a perfect environment. I was doing that at a high level in the Christianity, and I can tell you the things that you end up running to as a Christian. When I was in Christianity, had the money, had the resources, but guess what? I had to hire a babysitter. I had to hire a cleaning lady. I had to eat out a lot more. I had to get private schooling because it was just too, what I'm saying? Just is all on one woman. It was just, I think she could have done more. She didn't do much. She took advantage of it. But you know what I'm saying? But even if Bree was in that situation, if she could have been in my first marriage, the same setup and everything, it would have been very hard. I mean, even Bree, she's like, wow, how am I going to do this? I said, Bree, you're going to have help. She didn't know how to really cook a lot. But guess what? She didn't have to come in the environment and have to know how to cook everything, because she can learn from the other sisters. She can just say, okay, I'm good at, doing desserts. But now she's starting to get to now she's doing the food part now. You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, I'm very comfortable. If a sister come in here, I can pick up a new wife or get a new sister, single sister here. Say, come in here. We will break you in. We will teach you the ropes. We got sisters here who will teach you the way. I mean, it's a beautiful environment for a woman to be a woman and not have to have any worries, no bills, no headaches, no nothing. Everything is taken care of. All they got to do is just cook, clean, and just be a help me and do what they're told.
Man, that's
so it's beautiful. I wish I envy. I don't know if that even makes it work, but I wish my first family would have been able to experience this. This would have been such, and then you get to be in the same place that you worship. You worship from house to house, and you get to break bread and really live life together. Christianity, they have the saying, right? They say, man, we live life together. Bullshit. No, they don't live life together. No, now we do live life together.
right.
Like, for real, for real. So it's not a slogan. It's a way of life.
So if you could, brother, he put a question in here, and it is a good question. And I'm going to modify it to make it even a little better. But Brother Dope asks, what's a typical day in the life of the saints in the mansion or in the community home you live in? And what I would say, Kabeer, break down a typical day for the brothers who go out and work, a typical day for the children, a typical day for the women. Oh, he's back on. Hold on. Let me switch you over. All right. Hold on. Got his stream back up. All right.
All right. The typical day is, like you said, so obviously first day the brothers go out. Like right now, the brothers are gone. They're working. Now, we normally keep 2 back, but because we have the Feast of Tabernacle and because it's Labor Day, Brother David said, hey, you guys can go and help. So Brother Jordan has a crew of 3. It's just him and 2 other brothers. But we have other brothers who does the framing. They also know how to do drywall. So we can always increase that team from 3 to 5.
Right,
so,
right.
5. And so then on tomorrow when they do the yard work and everything like that, because we got to cut the grass and maintain all that stuff, then the guys can be here because it's Labor Day. Everything is shut down. So we can kind of bounce that. But the guys work. They work. Brother David, typical day for him, every second day. Is a second day, he does shopping. So Sister Bree on first days right now or tonight, she's going to go in Sam's Club, get all the groceries every week. She gets all that stuff, and then David goes pick it up because it's already, they bring it to the car. He brings it in, then they stack that away. And then the sisters are cook and clean. The guys work. I just, I have a financial business that I'm doing, so I deal with my clients. If I'm not dealing with my clients, I'm doing ministry stuff, foundation stuff. So we just work. I mean, we work 6 days a week. We work during the week, not Shabbat, but during the week, we require our brothers to work out because I want my brothers to be fit. I want them to be, because right now, because we don't do a lot of yard, being on the land, I'm trying to prepare their mind that, hey, when you get back from work, we're going to get in the weight room. So we got Pastor Corey giving our guys workouts. And so Brother David leads that. He's like a coach, and he got the guys working out. They do intense working out so that we can still keep our mind in shape. So even though we're just doing stuff in the weight room, doing conditioning, weightlifting, it's just our way that when we get into the land or whatever situation, our guys are still fit. So they still have to have the ability to work and come back and do more work. And sometimes you hear that in the community, you got to do some building. So when you build over there, you come back over here, you still build, and then you get your sleep on. So anyway, so I kind of see myself like a head coach, and my job, or GM, or whatever you want to call it, I see myself as a head coach, and my job is to make my team work and be very productive and just have a winning attitude.
That's good. That's good. And I also want to congratulate Brother Dave. He lost how many pounds? He lost a lot of weight. He done really
59 pounds. Yeah, he lost 59 pounds. Yeah, since Passover. Yeah.
All praises.
Yeah.
So I'll put this one up. There's another question to you, Kabeer. It's from Gene Lewis. He said, Brother Kabeer, what's the steps to join Straitway Wisconsin?
Well, everybody usually get funneled through Straitway Truth Ministry through Elder Becker. So Elder Becker is the one that tells us, if he directed, he determines that he knows where everybody's located. Once he knows where you're located, he knows what's the nearest community or assembly near you. But that's how I usually get it. And then so once they get it to, I think he kind of puts it on me to figure out, to assess if this person will be a good fit. So we just meet with people. We meet at a restaurant. Me and Brother David will go and be there to try to get to know him to be able to ask us questions just to see if usually most people get to come. We just tell them, hey, to be honest with you, my technique is to scare them off the bat and let them know this is what we believe. We believe in this. We believe in polygyny. I don't want no surprise. We're not here doing no smoke because we just don't have time for this trying to coach you in. I mean, if y'all's dealing with you, you're going to be here. If it's not, then like we don't. I try to cut it off right now because I don't have time for the emotion stuff. I mean, I think maybe because of what I went through, I have a little bit less patience to deal with that stuff. But you come in, we try to scare the shit out of you. I'll talk to him, but say, hey, polygyny. Is you okay with they say we're a cult. I put it all out there. And they still want to come after all that, then because we know if we just told people to come just for the house sake, people make it like, wow, look at the house. And, they get caught up in that. So we try to meet with them at some restaurant. It's not even I think it's a Perkins or something like that. And we just try to hear what they're, concerned about. Then we tell them what we're about and where they're at. And then we just tell them and it's not a big requirement in the beginning. We give them time to kind of get their feet wet and stuff like that. But if there's something to do, we go. So that's our process. Not a big deal. Not a big process, but it goes to Elder and it comes to us and then we take it from there.
That's good. All right. Let's see what other questions. Somebody said, how do you discipline or rebuke saints?
There's many ways. Sometimes I have to do open rebuke is one. Open rebuke is one way of doing that. If there's somebody does something, I can hold back their allowance. If they break something, they pay for it through their allowance. I mean, there's many ways. I mean, sometimes it's just a rebuke, open rebuke. Sometimes it's private rebuke. How would you say? Is that pretty? That's pretty much. I mean, I make the correction. I mean, we run a tight ship here, and I try to run this thing first class, like I did back in the days of playing the NFL. And so there's ways to get the message done. I mean, put it this way: if somebody's not going to fit here, I mean, I think the longest now you can say 2 years, but when people who are just trying to come in here, the longest somebody's been able to stay with us is 3 months. So I mean, right? I mean, about 3 months, 3 or 4 months. I mean, we have had people that came here, they kind of like the house and think it's cool, but then they see that we're really serious. And if you're not serious, you're not going to make it because and even to go to the feast too, you can't just go. We're not going to take you to the feast. You have to have shown yourself to be faithful here to even be allowed to go to the feast with us. So we run a tight ship. I mean, but I don't make it crazy hard. It's just show up on time. If we tell you to be at the meeting at 3:00, we expect you to be there 2:50. So late, early is on time, and on time is late. So you be sitting there waiting on people. So I mean, we just I don't know. It's not. I don't holler. I'm not a big holler. If I'm getting to the point where I'm chewing you out and hollering, you on the next step is you're on your way out because I like to just talk to you, man to man, brother to sister, and just get the thing dealt. So I shouldn't have to really do that. Now, when it comes to the seed, we give corporate punishment, whatever you want to call it, discipline, the paddle or the whatever we use, so that's it.
All right. Now let me
no abuse. No one is abused. And people are always free to leave. We always tell people all the time, we got 2 big doors. The beauty is we got 2 big doors and we can make sure that people are free to leave and everything like that. So no one's held against their will.
All right. Brother Joseph asked, how do you find your place in the community? So
we always say that your gifts will make room for you. The way you find your place is just being faithful. Do what the leadership asks you to do. Obey those who rule over you. We heavily believe in that. And with that, we're going to see where you will be a good fit. We're going to see your talents. Things are going to come up and things of that nature. So are you there? Okay, yeah. So just that's how you find your place. Finding your place is by being faithful, being obedient, and just trying to find how can you serve. Just if you just have the attitude, just asking how can we serve. We may tell you, hey, do this, do that, or just chill. So just obey, and in time, your gifts will make room for you.
That's good. That's good. All right. Let's see. That's so Kabeer, did you have anything you wanted to go into?
Is there anything? I think we covered everything except for all the distractions and stuff Satan is trying to do. But you see, look, we're so intense. It's like getting to the quarterback. They couldn't stop us, It's like boom, boom.
Yeah.
So, but I just, all I can just say, if I had to sum up everything, if there's no questions, but I'm just thankful to be alive. I'm thankful to be a part of this ministry. All I did when I first came into this ministry, somebody asked the last question, how do you find your place? My attitude was, I just want to be an asset to Straitway Truth Ministry. I see what Pastor is doing. I see what Yah's doing through Pastor. I just wanted to just say, man, I just want to be an asset. I don't want to be a liability. Even though I came in with the financial, I know the financial world. I know how to make money. I have my own gifts that I came in here, but never once did I come in thinking that I'm going to show Pastor this and I'm going to show him that. He was talking about gold. I didn't know much about gold. I'm now going to get into that, but I didn't know about gold. I didn't know about crypto, but I came in just seeing how I can serve, how can I help, and then with time showing faithfulness in the things that he was pushing and making sure I'm faithful to those things. Then all of a sudden things start opening up for your gifts. Hey, Kabeer, I notice you do brokerage accounts, or you do stocks and bonds, and you do this, and so now those things become open. But my gifts means nothing if I can't obey, if I can't be loyal, if I can't be faithful, and so. Just even with the foundation, just recommendations that I made to pastors, and it's pastor and leadership is something that the pastor is now supporting, and he's doing, and he appreciate. But I didn't come in here and say, man, this is what I want to do. I mean, and it just really started from an assignment that pastor told me. Pastor said, hey, Kabeer, something is, the tax assessors here, go do some research and tell me. And I said, okay, Pastor. And all I was doing is serving. It was in the middle of my serving that I ran into. I said, Pastor, there's something here that. I said, let me go through it first. So I went through it first and saw it works. And, so what I guess I'm saying is that as you serve, as you try to be a good helpmeet, a good bride to those who rule over you, your gifts are going to make room for you. They're going to see that. I mean, anybody that's in leadership is going to see like, man, this guy does this well. As you, Brother Jordan, same thing. He was really getting good with the drywall. I said, hey, something? Hey, I'll put some money. I'll get you a truck. I'll get you the tools. Go do it. Brother David, he was doing stuff with the video editing and stuff. And, you see all my show that has a lot to do with Brother David, so, and when things come up, you will see that stuff. So that's all I wanted to do. And Yah's answered my prayer. I think I'm an asset and not a liability to the ministry. And that's all I want to be. I just want to be an asset to Yah's kingdom. So that's it. I don't know about, so.
Yeah. Brother asked, it says, what is the relationship between community and salvation? Is salvation attained without community?
I mean, obviously, I'm not saying that you have to be in community to be saved, but I will say that being in community is a good indicator if you're going to be able to be a part of Yah's kingdom. I can tell you that much. And I think that, and I'll speak from my own personal experience, that if you're not trying to get on community, are striving. It's just, that's just me. I'm just saying that I think striving to be on community should be the same. It should be the same to try and make it to the kingdom. Because Yah did this is what Yah people did. They had all things in common. This is what the apostles did. I mean, I think about from my situation, and not that I'm here to say it just worked itself out, but it's like just when Yah told the rich young ruler, he said, "Sell all your things and give it to the poor and follow me." I mean, people don't know what does that look like? You just give all your stuff and just dump it to the poor. Man, I had the attitude. I said, okay, I want to do this stuff. I want to follow you, Jesus, right? Well, pastor said, okay, Kabeer, you keep it. Now we know it belongs to the ministry. You keep it, you rule it. But now he has me. He has my. I mean, I'm here. I'm here. So it's not like I gave it and I'm just homeless and doing nothing with it. And so this house, yes, it's not my house. It belongs to the community now. It belongs to Straitway. It belongs to the foundation. And so I'm just managing it. Just like I never owned anything. Yah owns everything. We all are stewards. I'm just a steward. So all I am is now I'm acting and really am legally and lawfully a steward of his property. That's all I'm doing. I'm not going to take this thing with me. I mean, when I lost half of the thing to my wife and lost my children, it made me really realize how much I really own and how much I really didn't own. And so if I'm going to lose my stuff, I'd rather lose it to the things of Yah and not to some bullshit, if that makes any sense. So I know what it means now to give all that you have and give it to the poor, because all the people in here, I don't think they had a lot. Maybe only one person came from a rich family, or at least a well-meaning family, but everybody, they didn't have much. So guess what? I made this house for my family, but they're too busy. Didn't want to abide by my rules. They want to do their own thing. So then I literally had to go into the highways and the byways. And now guess what? We are using the house. We have a house, damn it. We're going to use the house. So, I mean, I can relate to these stories in the Bible. Like you really won't understand it until you do the word. You see what I'm saying? And so if anything, I'm getting more of a reward in giving all. I'm glad I was able to forsake all and seek his kingdom, his right. And guess what? When you seek his kingdom and his right, you want food, guess what? I don't have to worry about food ever again. Shelter, don't have to worry about clothes. Never. We have everything we need. We all have everything we need. Does that make sense? I mean, is salvation attainable without community? I don't know. But I know this much, that being in community gives you a good feel if you're going to be able to make it to the kingdom of Yah. That's the truth.
That's good. That's good, Kabeer. You're right on point with that. All right, let's see. Let me see. Let me check that. I think that's pretty much it for the questions, Kabeer. But
I would like to show this. You have I don't know if you can say show pictures. Can you show a picture of the land, the new land that we're looking at?
Yep.
So I can at least share that, put that out there, speaking life.
All right. Just give me a second. Go ahead and if you want to talk about something.
Anyway, so now we're in the process, because I just went out from we went to Tennessee, checked out a 953 acre. Pastor went out with me. See, even that's a perfect example. So many people can say, well, I got the money, I'm just going to go buy it. I'm really trying to make sure I walk and operate in such a way that is pleasing in pastor's sight, and just, really trying to make sure that I don't move without his blessing. Just because you got the resource doesn't mean you just go do it, right? So Pastor went out the first time. This is the first land we saw. We said, man, this is a good land, but we thought it was too high at the time. So then Pastor said, go look around. So guess what I did? I looked around, and guess what? I wanted that land. I could have even said, man, I'm not listening to Pastor. I'm going to go ahead and get this land. I said, nope. Pastor said, go find something else. There's something else better. So we went around. I think we looked at 3 or 4 other lands. I mean, some of them was just like, man, Pastor's just looking, just shaking his head. Nah. And then this last one we saw, it didn't have no creek, it had no water. And me and TJ, that's brother TJ to the right of me, but me and TJ both said, man, that Pocahontas land is looking real good right now. And then Pastor showed up, and we were just doing something else, and Pastor started saying, man, that Pocahontas is looking real good right now. and then we asked the realtor and said, hey, you want to show us another land for tomorrow? He says, Kabeer, I'm going to be honest. We don't have anything. If you didn't like this land, we don't have anything good. That land, the West is going to be more what you're looking for, but there's nothing here in the middle of Tennessee. It's all in the West here. And Pastor said, I think you got to bite the bullet on this one. Take that one. I said, you okay with that, Pastor? Said, yeah. So I put in an offer. I called the realtor the other day before Shabbat and told him, hey, go ahead and put in an offer. So we're going to put in an offer to buy it right for what they're selling it for. We're not going to do all this negotiation game, because these are very wealthy people, so they don't need the money. And so we just say, hey, go ahead and put the offer. But what we did as a caveat is to give us time to sell this land is, can we put something down? I think we said, can we just put down $500,000 to give us by the end of next year, by the end of 2022, to buy the land. And if we don't buy it, you can have the $500,000. I mean, that's kind of the initial offer. So we'll see if they'll take it. But we're serious. We're trying to come out of her, my people. I want to get out. I can make an excuse. Oh, yeah, I want to keep this house. I built this for my family. We're really not in the city, blah, blah, blah. No, I'm trying to get all the way out. I say, how come this land is way more? This is like 4.5 million. The land we saw that was 953 was 3 million. It had only one house. This has 5 houses. And we were wondering, why is it so close? And he says, because it's closer to Nashville. That land that we're looking at, it's further away. It's in the middle of nowhere. And we said, that's music to our ears. So it's a nice land, but it's far from everything. But if it was closer, that land would be maybe worth $10 million. But because it's in the middle of nowhere, it's cheaper. So anyway, so we're praying that everything will work itself out. I found ways that I can kind of, financially finagle this deal to make it profitable for the ministry and everything. So anyway, Yah's good. I mean, I'm Brother Israel. I'm not even thinking. I used to say that, man. Whatever. I'm not. If this doesn't work out, just take me away, Yah. Just Elijah. Just come and take me on the chariot, right? But I have found, literally, I can honestly say that word says, being on community, being a part of this ministry, I have literally found the kingdom of Yah here in heaven as it is. I honestly can say that. And I mean, even when I was away from my family, to come back, I was like, wow, I'm home. But even when I was at Straitway visiting, I said, I'm home. It's like, no matter where you go at Straitway, it's like, I'm home. And so I'm just thankful. I'm very, very thankful. I'm humbled that Yah saw it fit to open up my eyes and my understanding to be able to be in this truth, because being a man of wealth, being a man of means, he could have easily said, man, I'm not going to waste my time on this guy. It's easier for a camel to go on the eye of a needle than it is for a rich man to enter the kingdom of heaven. So the brother asked, does being part of community really part of salvation? Well, I'll say this. If you're a wealthy person, you have a slim chance of making it to the kingdom. That's what Yeshua said. That's what Jesus Christ said. And I was asked that question. I'm like, man, I got all this money, and you got all these people in this community thinking that because they give money to the poor, do a little bit of here, and just give from their plenty, they think they're going to make it to the kingdom, and they don't even know they're deceiving themselves. No, what I'm doing is because it's exactly what Yah says. He wants people who has heart after him to do the work of the ministry, to set the captives free, to help his children. I mean, this is how Yah's providing. He's providing through people who have means, or who have wisdom, or who have some type of whatever that is that makes them great. Use that to take care of the children of Yah. And so I'm just honored that Yah has allowed me to be responsible for 16 souls. And I just want to be found faithful. I want to be faithful. I want to take care of them. I want to make sure that when it's all said and done, Yah says, Kabeer, I saw what you did with the 16. I saw what you did with the 18 acres. I saw what you do with the whatever acres. Because of that, come to your master's house and manage all this more. That's all. Right. Faithful. Anyway, I can go on all the way. I'm just thankful. I thank God for Pastor Dow for being an example. He started this thing 30 years ago. He didn't have a Straitway Truth ministry. He didn't have somebody that he can go to. They were calling him he was the crackpot. He was the crazy one. He was whatever they called him. He didn't have any of this stuff. But we who had came after Pastor Dow is riding the coattail of his example, of him sticking to it, building a community that's been there. Now it went from 60 to 100 acres and is thriving. And because of that, now we all have a place to go to. So I thank Yah for Pastor being faithful, being strong, staying the course, being just a strong oak in all of this stuff. And so now we have an example. And now there's more people becoming examples too, so that we none of us have an excuse of why this can't be done. It can be done. And if we do it, what Pastor has laid out for us and showed us, if we do, man, Israel will be powerful. I mean, we won't need anybody. Every nation will be coming to us borrowing money. Hey, we need you guys. You guys hear what I'm saying? I mean, bro. Anyway, hallelujah. Glory, hallelujah. I get excited, so let me...
So Kabeer, man, it was awesome having you on this show. I'm looking in the comments, man. Everybody saying hallelujah, great interview, man. People are loving this. I know already from this series, man, we've already had a new saint come out. Sister came out, fellowship with us for the first time. We've had a couple other saints reaching out, wanting to fellowship just off of this series here and what they're seeing on here. And, you know, really, truly looking in and seeing the work that Pastor Dow has been putting in out here and the other saints in the ministry. So, I mean, this is just another angle to Straitway of what's going on. And I knew you, interviewing you, I knew it would provide a unique perspective that needed to be put out there just from the success standpoint. Because I'm sure you've seen people whose wealth or worldly cares are blocking them from really going all in and really committing and submitting to what's going on. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah, it's like the foreign soil. It talks about the cares of this world chokes them out, and it does not become fruitful. And I knew about that analogy. I knew about that parable, and I wanted to make sure I'm the good soil. And we all can choose. We can let little persecution take us out. We can be excited to be in the ministry, and all of a sudden the sun comes out. We get, because we have no roots. But
yeah.
I think my thing was that thorn. I had that thorn in there choking me out. But Yah was gracious enough. He opened my eyes, opened my understanding. He hid his laws in my heart. And so I'm just thinking, I can't even take credit. Everything that I've done up to this point is truly by the grace of Yah. It's not to be false humility. It's just true. It's just true. Because I was going into the way of destruction. I didn't find Pastor Yah just put Pastor down there to have an answer. I mean, it was just, I mean, how many pastors are around here that I gave millions of dollars? I didn't even give nothing to pastor. There was no guarantee I was going to do anything for Straitway Truth Ministry. And pastor just helped me because it's like, it kind of reminded me of the 99 sheep, right? You had 99 sheep and this one sheep is wandering off. And Pastor Dow, shepherd, came back for this one sheep. When all these other people rejected me, wife rejected, children rejected me, brothers rejected me. I mean, just people, friends rejected me. And Pastor Dow didn't even know me. He said, hey, guys, I got to go back and get this one sheep. Let me go back here. And then he's telling other brothers, hey, guys, stay with your, strengthen your brother Kabeer. Strengthen him. Trust me, he's a good brother. Just strengthen him. And I think I'm alive. I'm literally alive because of the work that Yah did through Pastor Dow to love me, to see I was talking to a military guy and I was asking him something. And he says in the military now, I'm assuming Pastor would have known this stuff, but he was telling me in the military, because people deal with so much death and so much, craziness, that they teach each other how to help each other to be encouraged. You just saw your friend head get blown off. So you got to be able to cancel guys right there. And you can tell when guys are just kind of freaking out and so Pastor Dow can tell through the phone that this dude, because I probably was just in a dark place. I just lost everything that I loved, everything. And he was able to pick up. And I remember there was a point where he says, man, it sounds like you're getting your strength back. And that's when he encouraged me to start doing the YouTube. The YouTube was more of a therapeutic thing for me. I wasn't doing it for fame, but it was very therapeutic. It's confess your faults to one another so you can be healed. So no one wanted to talk to me, but I got to, and they end up helping other people. Other people coming to the ministry or coming to the truth because of my story. But it was really for me to get my story out there, and I got a lot of healing for doing the KGB 94 TV. So anyway, yeah, it's good.
So real fast, yeah, we'll y'all go check out Kabeer's channel. I'm gonna pull it up here real quick, and just talk a little bit about the content and the history of the content on there, because that's literally a play-by-play type deal.
Yeah. So if you want to see somebody going through their Job moment, I was literally giving live. You're going to see I look skinny. I look, just crazy looking, but I was just giving day by day, maybe week by week, but it was just coming out, just telling my story, what was going on. You will see the church, the Christian church I used to be a part of, the Living Hope Church. The whole church came in. The whole church came in and they end up stealing all my property. You see that in live. I didn't have any makeup, no haircut, just you see me. Then eventually evolved into me to doing the KGB live show. Then it evolved into me to doing the Berean moment. We have the Berean moment where I start interviewing people like Pastor Dow, Mother Carol, the elder, just all the people at Straitway, just showing the testimony of people who having their Berean moment. Everybody had a Berean moment where it was just, this is it. They went to go study scriptures to see if it was true, and they came back and they believed. You see, you're going to see my wedding on there. You're going to see restoration. You see a little bit of my restoration period of me getting married. We had, I think, the most beautiful wedding. I don't think I've seen anything yet that even compares to that yet, to be honest with you. But maybe I'm being biased, but I'm very.
That wedding was tight, man.
Yeah, very Hebrew. You're not going to see the woman. You're not going to see the man standing there waiting for the bride. Here comes the bride. No, the woman comes. She does her thing. No one stands for her. She sits there. It's all beautiful. Don't get me wrong. But then the show happens when the bridegroom shows up. And it's not about me. It's just me representing Christ and the woman representing the church. And I even had somebody, a person that was doing client, they were saying that I saw a picture of you and the woman kneeling before you. What's that all about? I said, oh, I'm glad you asked. I said, this is for my business now. She says, I looked you up and I didn't know how to figure it. I said, oh yeah, that's just a picture of Christ in the church. That's all. I'm Christ. She's the church. You know what I'm saying? And so anyway, I mean, so it's some good stuff on there. So go check it out. I think it's inspiring. We're going to eventually do videos, but one of the reasons why I got off of doing videos, because, hey, I preach, hey, we're the bride. Obey those who rule over you, Elder Rufus. He says, if you've been less than 3 years or less than 5 years in the ministry, he says, shut it down. You know, you need to sit down, shut up, and listen to those who's gone before you. And guess what? I did it. And people say, not you. KGB is pop. I think we have 7,000. I haven't done much in a while, but it's still somewhat growing or whatever. And I said, nope, he's talking about me. I fit the description that he was talking about. And I'm going to go ahead. And I ended it right there. I just got one more permission to do one more show. And he gave me his blessing to do one more show. And I used his video that he made to everybody. And I shut it down that day. So I haven't really done a video. If I've done anything, have I done anything since then? Just little stuff. I show baptism, just stuff that we're doing in the ministry. But yeah, and Justin Peterson, which everything you see on there, I've got some type of blessing from leadership to do. So, but you know, we'll see. I'm good because right now the work that we've been doing this whole past year, I needed the break because I've been doing the foundation. I've been coming out of her, my people legally. I have found ways that we can get out of the system and not give the system jurisdiction over us. So many things we've given up because we give consent. And so I've learned so much. So I needed the time to be off of the KGB live show, to be off of the channel and just focus on this work because it's a lot of work. And I was able to, that was my job. I literally poured into that stuff. And now I'm still working on it, but now I'm on the tail end. And so everyone that's coming behind me, if they run into anything, I'm going to be able to help them to get through it because I've gone through it. I had to go through it with no help from Straitway. I had to get it from a guy named Kelby, his advocate. He's been helpful, but he's a busy man. But he's not necessarily trying to, he's not into Straitway Truth Ministry. So me trying to glean from him and use his process to try to get us free. So I'm hoping that this will be a huge asset to. This information will be a huge blessing to Straitway Truth. It is being a blessing right now. And so, so hallelujah.
That's good. Kabeer, man, I appreciate you coming on, man. This is another awesome show. Right up on 2 hours now, and it was just an action-packed 2 hours.
Hallelujah.
Even with the technical difficulties and the information you were bringing out, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, I appreciate you coming on. Look forward to fellowshipping with you up at Feast of Tabernacles. And I'm going to hand it back over to you to just conclude, and then I'm going to wrap the show up.
All right. Well, hey, thank you so much for having me, Brother Michael Israel. It's always great to be here and representing Straitway Truth Ministry, our shepherd. So like I said, if anybody's interested in Straitway Truth Ministry, especially the one here in Wisconsin, if you're in the Wisconsin area, we cover Minnesota, the northern part of Illinois, and just any part. And just call Straitway Truth Ministry. They'll get you connected to the nearest community. But like I said, I'm truly honored to be the chief servant here at Straitway Truth Ministry, Praiseland, Wisconsin. So that's all.
All right. So yeah, y'all, appreciate all y'all tuning in. Put a hit if this series is a blessing to you, y'all definitely make sure y'all share it. Share. Hit the like button, and just get the word out about it. I think what y'all gonna have to do is share it over on Facebook because Facebook blocked me in the middle of the interview. I'm serious, yeah.
What did we say? Did we say something about COVID? What did we say?
No, we didn't say, hey.
Did we say Transformers? What the heck? And then also, they can check out my Facebook too. So there, people always want to know on my Facebook, you're going to see a lot of our Shabbat meals. And so that's why
your Instagram. I watch your Shabbat meals on the Instagram.
Yeah. Instagram. It's all called KGB94 TV. You can see it there on my Facebook. You can see it there. And if people want to know why I show that, is because that was the very reason why I lost my family. That's all I want to do is do the Shabbat. And so I said, if I can't do anything else, I'm gonna make a point here that this is why I lost my family, is just because to rest and eat and feast and fellowship. And so I'm hoping that when people see it's like, why you show that Shabbat? That's if you want to know what we do.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, so you always tell me, I say, hey, great message from Pastor Dow. Hey, Sister Bree, tell us what we having. Boom. That's why I can do that to the day I die, so people can watch that. And then people say, that was it? Yep, that's the call. That's it. We eat, we fellowship, we listen to a great message. Hallelujah. So that's so if you see that on my Instagram, that's what that's all about.
So go check Brother Kabeer out over there on Instagram, Facebook. Definitely share, like this, get the word out. As far as this series, this is probably season 1 of it, and I'm gonna probably be concluding season 1 because we getting ready to get extra busy with sugar on top down here in Straitway, Florida. So my next interview is probably going to be Pastor Dow again to conclude the series or this season of it. And so I can free up even more time to press with a lot of stuff we have going on down here. I definitely want to be in a position Kabeer's in, getting land and sealing a deal on some land. That is our goal down here in Straitway, Florida also. So
and maybe we'll get the land. Maybe we get the land. You can come and do an interview after that once we get the land and can give
absolutely
a tour of the new land. So
yeah. So yeah, that's definitely. So yeah, we're gonna and we're definitely gonna be praying for Brother Kabeer to acquire that land and pray for all of us to stay strong and move forward and stay engaged. But anyway, y'all, with that said, I'm Michael Israel. Y'all just heard Brother Kabeer. You're watching Spiritual Combat. We're going to wrap this up. And want to tell y'all shalom, shalom, and stay engaged, y'all.
Shalom, shalom.